Parker, Posey, Parker. Like, it's from last night. Don't. I ate the plant. You guys are big babies. Coming in for Landon.
Sarah and No Name, they do the morning show, ruling on the airwaves. Alice Radio, Maddie's the producer, and Hooman runs the boards. Me, I'm Black the Ripper, representing for the dwarves. Oh yeah, listen in now. Sarah and No Name are after dark.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
It's the only late night show. It's the only late night show. It's the only late night show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
So it's a big Tuesday.
It is a big Tuesday, man.
Woof. Yeah, woo, I know.
Woof.
Parker Posey coming in.
Woof.
Did you watch that movie yesterday?
Yeah.
No, did you? I loved the movie I took home and watched. Fake Grim, it was called.
Sure. You know, it's just,
really freaky independent film.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. Yeah,
What was
chick
yours
flick.
called?
I can't even remember. Broken English.
You know what? Mine turned into it becomes an international espionage terrorism story.
There you go.
So you should have taken mine. I should have taken yours.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Uh-huh.
But it's just really not my kind of movie. If you know what I'm saying? It's like a major chick flick. It's like definition of a chick flick. Did you see it? Did you watch it?
I see.
He loved it.
I loved it. I knew you would not like it.
It's just hard to watch a movie like that. You know?
I liked it, and
it's a romantic kind of drama. You know, I mean, you know, it's a chickie flick.
I liked
can't wait to see it.
the last part of the movie. I mean, it was kind of obvious, but also I don't know. I kind of expect with indie films they're gonna end like,
Someone's gonna die or get their head cut off.
and you're
That's what I
like,
was
oh,
waiting for.
here comes the awful ending, and it was actually a really nice ending, and it was a nice movie.
Half-assed news.
The meltdown maze is just still dominating the news. More details are coming out about the driver. They're saying he had a checkered past, Sarah.
Well, he's a truck driver.
Yeah.
Hello.
At least 2 hit-and-run accidents, and I guess he was
Oh.
convicted of heroin possession back in '96. I don't know how, like, you know, the Sayback's like, hey, sorry about that. And it's like, dude, like, look at the guy you hired.
Right.
You know, like,
It's called a background check
I always love hiring junkies that run over people.
to drive our gasoline truck.
Yeah, that's real good. Gavin Newsom jumping on the paranoia tip. Thank you, Gavin.
What did
He's
he say?
saying that he called the accident a giant wake-up call, saying it highlighted how vulnerable San Francisco is to potential terrorist attacks. I was hitting on this early yesterday, and everyone looked at me like I was insane, but now it's all over the news. And they're saying that more than 800,000 trucks carry shipments of hazardous materials, just like gasoline and whatnot, every day across the USA. And I want to thank the Chronicle. They put out this little map here that kind of illustrates all the really vulnerable points, you know, in the Bay Area. So just in case any super wacky guy was listening, you'd be like, oh, thanks.
What can you name a couple of them?
I mean, I prefer not to.
but it's in the Chronicle.
Exactly. Go buy a paper and get your plan of destruction. I always like it, too, like when the mayor, makes a statement like that, and then that's that.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Here's what I have to say about that. Goodbye.
any thoughts on how maybe we could prevent that from happening?
I thought you were going to say, Gab, thank you.
Half-assed news.
Russia's leading the airline, getting in the half-fast news.
What is Russia's leading airline?
It is
Random
Aeroflot.
symbol? Aeroflot.
Aeroflot. Dangerous. Apparently, and listen, I know people like to party in Russia. You talk to anyone about Russia, and
They don't even call it partying. They call it
life.
quenching your thirst.
Exactly. They call it living.
Right.
But it's like staying hydrated.
It's what we drink.
Talk to anyone about Russia, 10 minutes into the conversation, vodka comes up, and
Oh, yeah.
I was over there once, and everyone was wasted, and my kind of place. Apparently, two crew members, people that actually worked on the airline, are in trouble because they beat up a passenger who complained that the flight attendants were too drunk. I guess this dude, he saw that the 2 guys were intoxicated and weren't fulfilling their duties, and he asked to be served by a sober and competent flight attendant. You imagine that? You're like, excuse me, could you get one of your sober flight attendants to serve me? You guys are way too incompetent.
You spilled 4 drinks on me already. I'm really thirsty.
No, that's what they're saying. They're saying that half of the food that the crew served ended up on the floor. The aisles were just, trash is all over the place. These guys are like, hey, you want a turkey sandwich? Just hucking it at people.
Hold my drink, bitch.
You mean a warm goat sandwich?
Yeah, just completely out of their minds.
Oh, my God.
And then someone complained, so they kicked the crap out of the passenger. Can you imagine me like the other passengers on the plane? You're like, well, I was gonna ask for more peanuts, but
I'll just get mine off the floor.
they just knocked that guy out.
I'm that guy.
Oh my God.
He was probably the only sober guy on the plane, the only one who noticed.
I know.
Check with the pilots. Coming in for a landing.
God.
Hold my drink, bitch. half-ass news.
I think your job's stressful. Be glad you don't work for this dude out of India. God, man. This employer beheaded one of his workers for failing to milk his cows. See, neighbors watched in horror as this dude was dragged out of his house by his angry employer and some assistant. Held this guy down and cut his head off with a sword.
Is that allowed? Not completing your job duties is
I don't know. I'm just saying.
punishable by beheading on your front lawn?
I guess in India, but imagine being the guy that replaces this dude. So
You're going to milk those effing cows, I'll tell you.
So what happened to the guy that had this job before? They just hold up his head. Oh, okay. No problem, sir. Go to, everything will be milked.
Well, listen, those cows need to be milked. You have to milk the cow every single day or they get mastitis. They get pus in their...
Hot.
It's like a woman who's... you would know this when the woman just has to get the milk out. The milk has to come out.
Hot.
Body keeps making the milk, baby. Coming up.
I ate the plants outside. Oh my God, he floated out the door.